Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Track and Field Edition. And my guest for the first episode here in 2019 is none other than the new assistant coach of the track and field programs here at Menlo College, Laura Patrick. Laura, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Let's start by talking a little bit about yourself. Now, you ran at multiple colleges in Oregon as a collegiate athlete where you did both indoor and outdoor. Do you have a preference between the two, and what really is the difference between indoor and outdoor, aside from the obvious fact that is indoor and outdoor?
I think you're going to have a hard time finding someone who's going to tell you their favorite is indoor. Just the track in its natural state is outdoor. You run faster on a full-size track. For me personally, I really like, I'm a 100, 200 runner. There's no 100 indoors. And the 200's a lot easier when you're not making a full lap around the track. You're just making half a lap. So that's one of the differences. There's different events indoor. The track is not a 400-meter track. There's 3 different types of tracks you run on indoor. There's a 200-meter flat track, a 200-meter bank track, or a 300 track. So that kind of makes it difficult. So because of that, there's no 10K indoor because it's 26 laps outdoors. So you can imagine how many it's going to be on a short track. There's no javelin, so there's a lot of outdoor athletes who don't get to compete indoor. So that's the big difference. There's a lot of different. There's the 60 meter instead of the 100. There's the 1K. I think they run in the NAIA. Just difference in distances and events.
I want to go back to what you were talking about with the different types of tracks. There is actually a banked track that you run on, like NASCAR style.
Yeah. There'll be, and if it'll be a usually 6-lane, 200-meter track, which means the curves are really tight. And when you're up in lane 6, you're on a bank. And there's been people, if you run fast enough, who have actually slingshotted themselves off the track because of the bank.
So is that an advantage or a disadvantage to be up on that top lane?
It depends. Usually, 4 and 5 are the better lanes. You want to be in the middle of the track. It's kind of a disadvantage because you're running uphill at certain points in the race, but you also have that downhill.
Yeah.
You do run faster because you get such an aggressive slingshot off of that bank track that you do end up running faster 200s on a bank track.
Wow. The things you learn when you're on Unrooted with a track coach. I had no idea that you could actually run on a track that was not just flat.
Yeah.
That's wild. Now, at the beginning of the year, your brother Travis was also still on our staff as an assistant wrestling coach. Did that help sway you at all to come to Menlo?
Oh yeah. That was a major factor in me choosing to come here. Growing up with Travis, I think my entire life I've tried to follow in his footsteps, and he's been a big teacher for me when it's come growing up as athletes. He taught me most of the first things I knew about sport. And he was also one of the biggest encouragers of me to pursue a career in coaching. So it was an incredible blessing to be able to learn from my older brother as a professional as well. And he's left such a fantastic blueprint for me to follow throughout the rest of my career. Now,
even though he's gone, he's now the head coach at Arizona Christian. Are you happy for the big bro?
Oh, yeah. Yep, it was a great career move for him, for his family. It's what he was looking for.
We do miss you, Travis, but now you're our biggest rival. So we kind of it's a love-hate relationship with you now that you're on your way in Phoenix. So let's talk a little bit about the teams now. This season has been underway for about a month now for both the track programs here at Menlo. What has been the biggest improvement that you've seen from day one to where we are now with your student athletes?
Oh, wow. There's just been an incredible change in their attitude and energy. When I first came in, during cross-country season, there's a little bit of this, we don't have a regulation track out there. We don't have, the best of everything. We're Menlo College. Nobody knows about us. They're just kind of very timid when, they went to the starting line, at practice. And there's just been this attitude and this energy that's changed. They're hungry. They're fighting every day in practice, trying to get better. They're just out there trying to win.
And a bunch of program records have already been falling as the semester has progressed, and it seems like it happens during virtually every single meet.
Yeah.
Is there ever any competition between a pair of runners who are both vying for a program record? Because I'm pretty sure that's happened on multiple occasions already this year.
Yeah, it has. And, as our team gets bigger, this will happen more often. But, we're at a kind of a unique stage in the growth of our program, is that we don't really have a lot of kids running the same events, but there has been there's a lot of healthy competition, especially between we saw Benji Rono take down Marco Mueller's school record in the 1500, and you see that every day at practice, and that's what's making them better, is they're learning how to compete against each other and then go out and compete against other kids, and it's making them better.
Yeah, healthy competition being the key word there. And those other kids you're talking about are some elite Division I talent that the Oaks routinely go up against in these large meets. How do you feel that this competition helps drive the Oaks' desire to win?
Oh, well, that's the unique thing about track and field is, as opposed to other team sports where you have to, you have conference play and you're playing against the same people in your division. That track and field, we'll go to meets where our kids will line up against, Olympians and world champions. The cool thing is about, running against, Division I talent is you get there and you earn that, your lane. You earn your lane just as well as that Division I athlete does. And once the gun goes off, there's no scholarship athletes, there's no Division I, Division II. It's just whoever gets to the line first. And I think it's really, especially as we've started to beat these Division I athletes, it's aided their confidence, and it's definitely made them hungrier. Like I said about when you asked the first question, just realizing that we are somebody. We can come to the line. People know who Menlo College is, and that's definitely driven their desire to win.
And Menlo's going to face some more really big competition this week as you go up to Chabot College for a meet hosted by SF State. What do you know about this event, and what are you looking forward towards from your athletes this weekend?
Oh, well, this event started, as kind of another option for, because we have the Elite Stanford Invitationals happening just down the road. So SF, kind of started this distance carnival. Gives it's a great meet for Division II athletes, for those Division I athletes who don't necessarily make it into the Stanford meet, and it's just evolved into now a rather elite distance carnival. Some people will even choose to go to that rather than even entering their kids in Stanford. When I ran there, it was the San Francisco Distance Carnival, and it was run at Cox Stadium at San Francisco State. But this year, they've changed the name to the Mike Finelli Track Classic to honor their 10K record holder, longtime distance coach for actually Team USA. And it'll be run at Chabot College due to some damage to their track that they've had. What I'm looking for, especially from my group, is getting a couple Qs, a couple national qualifiers. This is a good chance to get some Qs in the 400 and the triple jump, for sure. And we're always going out there looking for PRs. It's another chance for our kids to qualify in the 5K as well.
Absolutely. A couple of national qualifiers already on board for the Oaks this year. Hopefully a couple more when the weekend is over.
Yep.
All right, Laura, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions. Give me your best answers.
All right.
Question number 1, which athlete would hate the cold of South Dakota the most?
Oh, definitely Benji Rono. You'll see him out there on 60-degree days. He's got 2 pairs of pants on, 2 sweatshirts, gloves, the sweatshirt hood. Yeah, he's not a fan of the cold.
Yeah, not exactly how it is in Kenya. Did it really get as cold as I'm envisioning it in South Dakota when you coached there?
Oh, yeah. There was a couple days last winter where the high was a negative 21.
How do you coach in that?
Oh, we had great indoor facilities there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's key if you're going to
if you're going
to have a track program in South or North Dakota for that matter, you better be prepared to go indoors. Question number 2, which athlete is most afraid of coyotes?
I'd almost say all of them, but I'm gonna say Naomi Legat is probably the most afraid of coyotes.
Hopefully she's never seen one.
Yeah, I would hope, yeah.
All right, and then question number 3, which athlete would get the most jittery if he or she went on a sugar rush?
Any of those freshman distance boys, the Connor Dimitri, Connor Oldham, or Timothy Blumenthal. they're off the wall characters as it is. So yeah, they're definitely any of those three guys would probably come in a three-way tie with who would get the most jittery for that.
Not something I recommend doing. It goes against every sports performance tactic we have here at Menlo College. But just, if it were to happen, I think it'd be kind of funny to see those freshmen just
it'd be hilarious,
jittery and twitchy from, I don't know, too many pixie sticks. Is that still a thing anymore?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I also don't know why that was the first sugary thing that popped into my mind, but literally because it's just a stick of sugar, I guess. Yeah. All right, Laura, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, folks. The track and field teams, they're competing at Chabot College this weekend, the Mike Finelli Track Classic, formerly known as the SF State Distance Carnival. It's a 2-day event, goes Friday and Saturday. A lot of the Oaks elite competitors will be running Friday late afternoon into the evening, and then the big relay race is set for Saturday. We invite you to tune into the next episode of Unrooted Track and Field Edition when Laura Patrick will select the next interviewee by me, Brian Brownfield, right here on the show. Until then, we'll see you next time. Take care. Shake,